What do great singers do that average singers don't? Today I'm going to share with you 3 things that great singers do, but average singers don't. Let's begin. You see, the first thing that great singers do, but average singers don't, is that great singers, they spend a huge amount of time practicing what I call the SOVT exercises. SOVT is a short form for semi-occluded vocal tract exercises. You see, why is the SOVT exercises so useful? I've actually done a whole video talking about exactly what SOVT is and how it can have a tremendous impact on your singing. But for the sake of this video, why do I say that great singers do a lot of SOVT exercises? Because first, let's just take a look at this clip of some of the best singers in the world doing SOVT exercises. Now, the reason why SOVT exercises work is because when you are doing an SOVT exercise, for example, the blowjob itself is an SOVT exercise. So what is this blowjob exercise about? It looks a bit like this. So what it does is, when you are puffing up your cheeks like this, when you are blowing air into your cheeks like this, because of this small opening at the tip of your mouth, what happens is this. Now, some of the air that comes out from your lungs, that goes out, is now being reflected back. So imagine the vocal cords are now in the middle like this. And there is air coming from the bottom because of your lungs, from your lungs. And then also now, because of some air is being bounced back, and as a result, it's going to hit the vocal cords from up down. And as a result, because of this additional stream of air that's coming down, it kind of balances out the air that's coming out from the bottom. And then, here's where the magic happens. Let's pretend that the pressure below is 10, an arbitrary unit of 10. And the pressure above is, let's say, 0. If let's say there is no SOVT being involved, then there will be too much air pressure for your vocal cords to handle. But now, because of that back pressure, now imagine maybe the back pressure is about 5. So now, I have 10 here, I have 5 here. The net pressure has been reduced from 10 to 5. And that is how SOVT reduces the pressure on your vocal cords so that you can train them for a longer period of time, and it is also safer for your vocal cords because now there's less pressure acting against them. And not only that, when it comes to SOVT exercises, because of the back pressure that's coming back down, what eventually happens is it keeps your vocal cords in a mixed voice configuration such that it is not coming together too hard on each other, especially when we're going for a slightly heavier and slightly more solid and full sound. So look, I've done a whole video talking about why SOVT exercises are the key to training your mixed voice. I'll put a link in the description box below, and please go ahead and check that one out after you're done with this video. But for the sake of this video, just remember one thing, that great singers, they become great because they actually incorporate this SOVT vocal exercises into their daily training. Now, the second thing that great singers do that average singers don't is that great singers, they practice on every single vowel. You see, I remember when I first began learning how to sing, I had a bias for different vowels. Here's what I mean. When I first began learning how to sing, I was more of a yeller. I was more of a shouter. Instead of singing, I was just shouting, which is not really singing. And that is also very unhealthy. So being a shouter, what I realized is vowels, open vowels, like ah, like eh, like eh, they are easier for me to sing. And whereas closed vowels like e, oo, ü, they are harder for me to sing. And as a result, I remember that I could pull that chest voice on an open vowel like ah up to very high. But the issue is this: whenever I'm singing e and oo, closed vowels, I couldn't even bring them past E4 without straining. Let me correct myself. The highest I could pull them up to and shout them up to was to E4. But to be honest, even C3 was difficult for me to sustain on a vowel like E or a oo. And what I did back then was I neglected training my E and my oos, and I keep training my R and my S and my white vowels, which eventually it brings a huge imbalance in my singing. It's funny how sometimes when I choose what song to sing, this is really funny. Comment down if you have ever felt the same way. I choose a song with open vowels so that I can sing the high notes, because for songs with closed vowels that requires me to sing beyond a D4 or a D4 sharp E4, I try my best to avoid them because I couldn't hit them. So it became a weird situation where my open vowels had a higher range and my closed vowels had a lower range. I know for some of you watching this video, you might be feeling the exact same way. And for some of you watching this video, you might be the complete opposite. Maybe closed vowel is easy for you, but open vowels like you find it hard to sing. And that brings me to this point, that great singers, they train every single vowel. In fact, great singers, what they do is, of course, they also have their biased vowels, but when it comes to vowels that they have difficulty with, regardless whether is it an open vowel or a closed vowel, they will weed out their vowel and actually spend time training that vowel. So I want to drive home the point that if you suck at a particular vowel, then don't avoid it. I want you to face it and actually spend time practicing that vowel. But of course, all that being said, the practice of the weak vowel that you have, it is really only going to work if you are training with the right vocal technique. There's a reason why in the past, when I'm singing with a poor vocal technique, I could yell up all the open vowels, but the closed vowels, because I didn't have a right technique, even if I practiced, I couldn't bring it higher. I couldn't find more freedom in my closed vowel like E and my oo. But right now, if I were to sing an E and an oo on an E4, E, oo, E, oo, E, oo, E, oo, I can control it much better. Whereas in the past, it would sound a bit like this. Ooh. I tend to break very easily, but after learning a good vocal technique, it allowed me to coordinate my vocal cords and bring that mixed voice and my E and my oo higher up into my range. So remember this, great singers, they train all their vowels even if they suck at it in the beginning, and that's how eventually they develop this balance between the vowels so that they can sing any lyrics, any vowels, and it doesn't concern them. They can just sing it out like no one's business. I mean, just look at Bruno Mars singing oos and ees so high up in his range effortlessly in this video.
Ooh, I love that dress, but you won't need it anymore. Can you feel it, girl?
Now the last thing on the list is this. Great singers, they have consistent practice, whereas average singers, they do short-lived bursts of training. What do I mean by that? You see, the truth is this: when it comes to training the voice, 10 to 20 minutes of training each session per day for over 5 to 6 days in a week, it trumps over, and it's so much more effective than perhaps only training for 1 or 2 days in a week. But in that session, maybe you sing for 5-6 hours. Now that is not going to be as useful as being able to just practice 20 to 30 minutes every single day for 5 to 6 days a week. Even though you might even be practicing less time here as compared to when you're doing short bursts of long training sessions. You see, the reason why consistency is key. Think about it this way. How do we learn how to talk? We are able to talk because we practice it. We practice our speaking every single day when we communicate with our spouse, with our parents, with our friends, with our colleagues, with our bosses. That's how we develop our speaking skills. What I would say is the exact same for singing. To be able to sing well, the easiest way is to make singing a habit, to make vocalizing a habit. Tell me that you can't brush your teeth properly. Tell me that you have difficulty putting food into your mouth with chopsticks or fork and spoon if you live on the other side of the world. Yeah, so the reason why you have no difficulty with all those skills, singing is a motor skill just like all those other skills, but because you do them every day since the day you're born, you have no problem with it. It's just like, why can some natural singers naturally have high notes, naturally can sing well? Because from young they have been making singing a habit in their life. So that is why consistency is so crucial, because it makes singing and vocalizing a habit for you, so that eventually over time you are definitely going to get better, provided you're using a good vocal technique. That's why go ahead and check out the link in the description box below that shows you 3 of the best ways you can go about training your high notes and your complete mixed voice. Exercises that you can do every day and get a better voice after just 2-3 months of training. But consistency is the key. So I hope you took away some value from today's video. And if you love this video, then please help me color the thumbs up button. And also, if you haven't already turned the red color subscribe button into a grey color one, then go ahead and subscribe. Also, tell me in the comments section below, which vowels do you face problems with? And also, if you know other things that great singers do that average singers don't, please share with the community down in the comments section. Look, I love you, and I'm going to do some pull-ups now. Peace.